Okay. So for today's session, it's basically introduction session of Click. You don't take it as a demo session. It is basically a you can say it is will give you an entire overview of QlikView and the basic data warehousing and business intelligence mechanisms. And at the end of the session, you will be able to know that what is the QlikView is all about, what are the type of products available in the QlikView, what is the architecture, what exactly will be covered in the sessions. So those all raw idea you will having at the end of this session. So QlikView is basically a business intelligence tool. When I say business intelligence, the very raw fact coming to my mind, coming to everybody's mind is basically dealing with the data. Okay, it's basically dealing with the data and getting some reports as a output. Okay, so I would like to just give you a glimpse on this data warehousing architecture, that as we are QlikView professionals, uh, QlikView is basically a business intelligence tool. Now when I say business intelligence, it is like I'm just taking to very basic terminology. Like intelligence is knowledge, as business is something, this business intelligence is the knowledge required to run your business effectively. So that's the reason this nomenclature has been defined, business intelligence. And the tools which we use to create this business intelligence dashboards or reports are mostly the popular tools available in the market, like QlikView, Tableau, MicroStrategy, MSBI and all. So as a business intelligence professional, where will be our area, where will be our technological area, where we'll be working, and what we will be dealing with, and what would be our byproduct. Okay, as for the QlikView professionals. So as you can see, this particular architecture is the architecture of every big companies who those are deal with the business intelligence tool, advanced tool like QlikView. So here in your company, you may be provided one or multiple data source, and you'll be asked to create a dashboard or a report which can be viewed, which can be analyzed by the end user or a higher management while throughout the day. I mean, they can simply roam around. They can see their dashboards and their reports, their productions outputs in the tablet. Okay, and that
hello, doctor.
hello, and that particular dashboard can would consume the data of multiple source systems. So just assume you are working in a big insurance company, and there could be multiple data sources. Just like here we have HR payroll database, this is the ERP database, and this is order database or a website which is having MySQL data. Okay, MySQL database, and this ERP, just assume this is a SAP system, and the database here is Oracle, and this is payroll system, which database is SQL Server. Now you'll be provided multi database scenario, and you'll be asked to create a dashboard or a report by joining or blending the data from the different systems, and to create a summarized data set, and from that data you form a report. So those kind of scenarios you'll have to face. In that case, the best choice is to the main difficulty is to how to deal with multi environment database. Okay, how to deal with the data from the multiple environment. So in that case, the best practices is to create a data warehouse and get the data, fetch the data through the ETL tools like MSBI. You have a talent, you have a SSI,
Oh, dear.
yeah, you have a ODI, And there are many other tools like Informatica, Power Center. So
Informatica.
yeah, so there are many other BI integration tools used to create a data warehouse. However, I'm just giving you a brief background, but it is not our cup of tea because we are analytics professional. We're not going to build the data warehouse. Okay, just to have a background knowledge, what are the scenarios happens before we get the data. Now we'll be provided, our work will be started right from here when the data warehouse would be readily available. So when I say data warehouse, it is just a database. It is a single database where the data from multiple data sources are joined and blended together and stored here. So it is not live, it is basically reloaded periodically, maybe in the early in the morning every day, and where the data from each different systems are pulled together, joined together and stored here. So this is pretty much about data warehouse. Now will we simply get the access to data warehouse and create the analytics reports in form of dashboards and scorecards. Now the output of our analytics tools like QlikView or Tableau or MSBI are like marketing dashboard, your agent dashboard, your threshold based reports or subscriptions, alerts, those kind of informations or those kind of knowledge base will be created from the analytics tool. So far in this slide, if you have any question, please ask, I will elaborate. Both of you, are you okay with this?
Yeah, good.
You good, huh? Okay. What about Sampath?
Yeah, no questions, Amit.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Good.
I hope I'm not going faster. I mean, both of you can easily understand the topic. You can just interrupt me anywhere you found I'm going faster, or if not, if you did not follow anything. Okay. So just to give you background that this is what happens when you use the QlikView tools, and this is that what was the area where we have to work. Now, there are other BI tools available in the market like the listed here IBM Cognos, MSBI, Pentaho, which is open source, your Tableau. But why we are using QlikView? What is the specialty? What is the unique selling point of QlikView? So let's see. These are the listed or utmost features of QlikView as compared to other BI tools. Like QlikView provide high-end graphical looks. When I say high-end graphical looks, you can just compare with MSBI or some other BI tools. Like it is more graphical. It has a lot of animations. It has a lot of color features. It is customizable up to any extent. There are a lot of features of QlikView, lot of properties. Your chart have very huge number of property. You can customize it. You can do any changes in the chart or graphs or reports. All the data stores in memory and process from there. As a result, it become faster. Just to elaborate this point, it is like creating a buffer of memory, creating a memory buffer in the front.
Buffer cache.
Yes, just like a cache. So QlikView has its in memory, which is one of the main positive point, and which makes its performance much more time faster than other BI tool. So what happens? It does not do the round trip to get the information every time. So when the dashboard will be loaded once, it will get all the required data as in that loading time to
Database.
the from the database to cache. That cache memory is
Yeah.
called as in memory. So it is called in memory analysis, and as in when you click to retrieve any information, it doesn't take any time. It retrieves the information right away from the in memory. So you will definitely experience huge speed as compared to other BA tool. That's one of the unique selling point. Then traditional BI tools working with views. Okay, you have to create some views earlier and then you deal with the views to create the reports. However, QlikView provides front-end data modeling features. You can simply load tables independently and load the table, and graphically and with some sort of coding you can join those table in the front end. So that joining will form a data model which would be more lightweight and which would be more faster, and that can be easily built in QlikView. So it is not always recommended to create a view in the backend and fetch it. You can also load individual tables and join those tables and form a data model in the QlikView side. It provides a comprehensive environment to joining it. You don't have to write basically a lot of queries to joining. You don't have to have a huge knowledge on the database. A very basic little knowledge on the joinings or database would be suffice to understand this. Make associative connections. So when I say QlikView is joining the tables in the front end, that joining is not a kind of classic join we are doing in the database side. It is something like a hybrid. I mean, it is something like a next generation. It's kind of association. It's not a kind of tightly bundled, tightly making a relationship just like a joining. Association is something like when you have two tables, you have loaded two tables to QlikView in memory, and if there are two columns are found to be common name in both the tables, in that case, that two tables will be automatically joined. I hope both of you are knowing the database SQL script joining, but here in QlikView, you don't have to write any join script that select this and joining. Simply, if you load two tables, and if you do not know how to join the tables, QlikView will automatically join them by automatically sensing its common key field.
Okay, good.
That's why it is called as a associative connections, and it is much more time faster than the traditional joining process. Now talking about the interface, it is available in Windows, web and mobile interface. You can develop the dashboard. At the time you'll have to download QlikView development environment, that is basically a window based platform, that is called as a QlikView desktop personal or professional edition. You can use either of it. So that's a window based interface. And when you finish your dashboard development, in order to share with multiple users, a group of users, you must have to deploy the dashboard in the anywhere in the server, okay, to make a concurrent access of the user. In that case, you have to purchase or procure QlikView server platform, and when you deploy it, just the way we are deploying a Java or .NET or PHP application, we have to simply deploy this QlikView into that platform that is called QlikView Management Console. It is basically a QlikView server. So once the deployment is completed, it would be available on the web browser. Your dashboard, which is a desktop-based software, can be available to n number of users. Whoever have the login credential, they can simply browse the dashboard through the web browser. They do not have to purchase or install the QlikView development environment. And then QlikView has another mobile based platform, like it is called Qlik Mobile. You can simply get it from the iOS or Android market or Play Store, and you have to pursue a small step to configure that access point or the QMC with that you know mobile based software, and then you can browse your dashboard in tablet or iPhone or Android or Windows Phone very easily. In fact, in iPad you will get a lot of more other features as compared to web, because that is inbuilt in the Qlik mobile. Some the animations, some of the swipe left, swipe right, all those stuffs, which will be available in mobile, that won't be available in web. QlikView is built or developed using .NET, so it is more compatible with the Microsoft platform. So you have to install QlikView Windows Server, any Windows server, to configure its QlikView server software.
I have a
Linux
question.
available?
I'm sorry,
Linux.
Linux. No, Linux it will
Can?
not.
No?
No,
Okay.
because in Linux you cannot install the Microsoft platforms, so it needs IIS to be installed. Okay, and it needs a .NET
Okay.
framework need to be installed. So all those stuff should be needed. So it is much more time compatible. In fact, 100% compatible
Okay. Recommend within one
with
day.
this platform. And
Yeah, I have a question, Amit. Like, you talked about the high-end graphical. Like, if I want to customize any graphical, do I need to go into script or change in the script, or
yes,
what
no,
the process to?
click to any particular chart has a lot of features, like you have certain number of colors, say 16
Mhm,
colors, set colors. You want to choose another color palette, okay, just like a rainbow.
mhm,
You want to choose some gray effect. You want to choose some, you want to just customize the left side, the number of nodes available for a chart. So that is also
mhm.
customizable. Chart has a grid, so you want to give a lot of more rows and columns in the grid. That can be customizable. Changing the orientation vertical to horizontal, horizontal to vertical, that's possible. So likewise, there are a lot of features as compared to, if you just see, if you anybody know Cognos or Tableau, it's very quick.
Mhm.
Quickly we could generate there, but the same thing we can also do it here. However, in addition to that, we have a lot of other features, a lot of properties in QlikView. It's an enterprise level software to do many type of customizations. You can write your expressions, heavy and complex expressions you can write here. Okay, so definitely, whichever the things is a little bit complex, it is also benefited. That thing you will not find in other VA tool like Tableau.
So, I have one more question. Like, the ClickView comes in the package, or what? Like, we need to customize for our business needs, or
No, it's a
oh,
comes in a
everything
package.
is like.
Comes in a package. Whichever the customization is available, you can do it in the front end only. I mean, by changing the properties, it has some
Mhm.
coding environment. You can choose the themes, you can choose the security level, you can choose all those stuffs. But that level of customization you can do.
Okay, fine.
Like
Thank you.
changing the themes of every chart, you can create a particular theme of your dashboard, which is not support in other BI tool. You can change the entire theme and save it, just like you're creating a CSS file, and then you can use it in your dashboard. So those kind of visual customizations you can do it. May make sense?
Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about associative connection. So you can see here on the left side is the traditional joining process, and right side is the associative connections. So just assume we have four tables: region, sales, product, and salesperson, and I need to connect them by joining normally. So when you want to show them in a filter, you basically have to select one by one because the data has a parent-child relationship in the left side. However, in QlikView,
Yeah.
when you just load four tables, all these four tables will be connected to each other, and they would be formed like this. So when you select any entity, any attribute of any entity, other all the attributes will be filtered. Otherwise, here you have to first go to region, then select state, then you have to go to state and then select product. You can simply come from region to salesperson. But here in QlikView, those that's the beauty of associative connections. So I would definitely give you some glimpse here on how the associative connection happening in the QlikView Windows interface. So now coming to product portfolio, there are three different products as I said: QlikView developer, publisher, and server. And again, the browser, basically mobile based environment is there. You can get it downloaded. So developer is the desktop and development platform. You can simply get it downloaded from qlik.com. It is free of cost. Personal edition, QlikView desktop personal editions. However, we also have a QlikView desktop professional edition, but I would not recommend at this particular time to choose that because there is no functional difference between personal and professional edition. The only restriction we have in the personal edition is you cannot migrate your code to another system. There, it would not open. In fact, it will open for 4 times and then it would corrupt it. Okay. But in professional edition, that restriction is not there. Otherwise, as part of the features, it is absolutely same with professional and personal edition. So in the training, I will share you the process to get the environment ready and downloading the Qlik desktop. And publisher is basically a scheduling engine which reloads the dashboard to refreshing the data on a timely fashion. There is a job processing unit which is we can just fix a schedule that my data would be reloaded early in the morning, maybe at around 4 o'clock, and that particular time your dashboard, your data, everything will be automatically reloaded and get your dashboard environment refreshed for the business user before they reach office. And server is a hosting platform where we deploy our dashboard post development so that group of user can concurrently access your dashboard over the internet and across anywhere in the world. Any question here?
No.
No.
Now coming to the architecture, there are three products I just had discussed in the last slide: desktop, publisher, and server. So just assume this one is a one different server which is remotely set up. This is another development server, and this is the hosting or our production server. So from the starting, we'll have to choose the desktop and start working on the development. So here are our code base. So while doing development of your dashboard, you mostly will be dealing with two different files. One is QVD. QVD stands for QlikView Data, and another is QVW, QlikView Workbook or Worksheet. So QVD is
What?
QVW.
Sorry?
QVW is QlikView Workbook.
Okay.
Okay, and QVD is a data file. So QlikView support two type of connection to database. One is offline, another is online. So online is basically you from the QlikView file you will directly connect it to database. Anytime you need changes in the database, if a new record is added to the database, and at the same time if your dashboard is reloaded, it will get your data from the database to dashboard. It is basically online. Now offline is when you have a huge set of data like millions of records. In that case, it is not recommended to go for online connection. Rather, we have to create a extract data or staging kind of concept that is done through QVD file. So QVD file is just a offline database of QlikView. It takes the data from the database server to QVD files, and then QVD files are further loaded to QlikView and they must show the data. So QVD file is just like Excel, but it is it does not open in the Microsoft environment. Okay, it is highly complex, compressed. It is a native data source of QlikView. The data loading from QlikView is much more time faster than you load the data from any other third-party database. So I repeat, you'll have two files, QVD. The first purpose is to create the QVD from the tables of the database. So when from the QlikView side, when you need to associate or blend the data coming from multiple data sources, you can basically create a QVD from multiple data sources and then load them and join them. So QVD are kind of individual table. My one table is considered to be one QVD. Employee.qvd, department.qvd, transaction.qvd. So as many number of database tables I will be using in my dashboard, I have to create that many number of QVDs. And then I'll have to load it in the QlikView dashboard and I'll create the data model. So that QVD file is created through some scripting. Okay, and that process is automated through publisher. When publisher will be trigger that job at maybe at 1 a.m. in the midnight, your QVD file will be start creating and refreshing the data. Okay, so in that time the database will be active, and once the QVD file will be created, the database connection will be disconnected. So now entire data tables will be with you in the QVD files in the front end. So throughout the day, we will not interact with the database unless until we do not reload our publisher. Any question here?
No.
No, Amit.
Okay. So if anybody of you know Tableau, anybody know MSBI? Yeah, I think Sampath, you know MSBI, right?
Yes, I know.
So it is just like cubes we create in MSBI. Why we create cubes?
Hmm.
Why can't you create? Why can't we create a connection directly from the database? We can also do it, but cube is basically,
Yeah, we can also do it, but the fetching of data is faster in a cubes
yeah,
than normal data.
just a kind of fetching the data and storing in the front end in a some physical file. Okay,
Mhm.
so Q has an entity, whereas QVD also do the same thing. Kind of, it's not exactly, but you can simply compare that with this. So it is just create a offline data source, data offline data set in the front end. It is just a kind of flat file. You can touch it, you can delete it. Okay.
Okay, what's the difference between QVW and QVD?
QVW is basically the source code file. Okay, and where you will have a design interface, coding interface, and yeah, the entire dashboard development you will do in a QVW file. And the QVD is just a part of it. It's just a data where you will load the information to QVW file.
Okay, can we use multiple QVDs in one
Definitely, we'll
W
have to
file?
use. Yeah, because our dashboard development will be using multiple tables. Definitely, so we'll have to use multiple QVDs, right? As many number of QVD we can
Okay,
create. So
okay, like it's the QVD is different for each table, or we can keep multiple tables in one QVD.
yes, that is also possible. It's a very nice question. We can also create multiple tables. Say in that case, we can simply create in the database. We can create a view, and then we can fetch that view and create a table. We can do it, right? We can
Yeah.
also do it, but yes, we are just creating a big set of tables in individual QVD just because to reuse that QVD for other dashboards also. So in my company, from payroll database, there are multiple dashboards. Those are loading the consuming the same QVD. So I will just make them independent, and I will just separately load the QVD file, and dashboard will be separated, so that multiple dashboards also can consume the same QVD file. What is the benefit of creating QVD file? Why are we not directly connecting to database? We can.
Because it compresses the data, as you said before, like,
Yes. On
and
the
it is
same
easy
time,
to
it
keep
will put the
the
load on the
data in
database.
memory.
Why we're using QlikView? Why not any small BI tool? Why we're investing so much huge? QlikView course is used, product package is used, professionals are getting huge salaries. Why? It's because of the dealing with huge number of data. Otherwise, normal reporting like crystal report or but those can be also suffice. But here, when you have 2 millions of data, just assume how much time it will be loaded to create a QVD. Even it takes 45 minutes to create a QVD file. Okay, so that's the reason the administrator set up the QVD loading in the midnight, and in the morning the data will be loaded. But that is again the evolution has come into that approach. We are just loading the data incrementally and loading only the new records and appending with the QVD file. Excuse me. Now, this is the publisher who does iterative reloading of the QVDs and QVWs. Both the files are loaded so that your data to the QVD will be refreshed, your data to the dashboard will be refreshed. Now, once your development is completed, same environment will be replicated in the server, okay, in the production server, and that file which will be the client end, which will be displaying in the client end, will be configured in the QQ server, and some authentication authorization process will be created so that when the user will access to your server by the role based and write based mechanism, they will access to your particular dashboard. However, there could be multiple dashboards in your server, but based on your roles and rights, you will be accessing your department dashboard. Clear? Shall we move next?
Yeah.
I have a question, Amit. Like, what's the front end we use? Like, the QlikView has its own browser or any
No,
browser that's connected?
any browser. When you deploy the dashboard, Chrome, Mozilla, Internet Explorer, Safari, everything you can use. It's just like deploying a Java application into Tomcat or deploying a .NET application into IIS. Okay, you must have knowledge on some programming language, right? In our engineering,
Yeah.
so we need a hosting platform to deploy it so that we can reduce the license cost and we can share the dashboard to multiple users. I hope I could address your question.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
So this is what the workflow is. First of all, you will be provided the data. The data can be multiple, like your flat files like XML, TXT, SQL, XLS, everything, or maybe data warehouse. So data warehouse is a good option, but it's not the ultimate option, as I said. Okay, data warehouse is a good option when you have a multi-source database. But if you have simply SQL Server or Oracle to create visualizations or dashboard, would you go for data warehouse creation again? No? Yes. It doesn't record the data warehouse there. We'll simply connect to SQL Server database or Oracle database and then pull the data. So data warehouse is needed when you have a blending concept of multiple data with a heterogeneous platform. Now you have a data, you have a development environment, you develop it and then you publish it for automatic reloading of the data, and then you, you configure it for the publishing of the dashboard, auto data publishing, and then you configure in the server. Just create a mounted folder to by pointing to that end user code base or a dashboard file, and then finally it would give an environment to browse or a portal to browse. The portal is called as a QlikView access point. Every dashboard has their own portal, like MicroStrategy, QlikView, or Tableau. They have their online portals through which you can access their dashboard. That's a web-based interface. Now finally you have a dashboard in place that is also called as an analyzer to make analysis. Now going forward, you can see this is how the access mode looks like. You need to have a login credential. That login credential will be created by the administrator while they are deploying a dashboard. Once you log in, you will have the listed dashboard or portal where you can see all the dashboards are deployed here. You can see the last updated time. That makes sense that this particular time my dashboard is reloaded, lastly reloaded. Okay, and when you click it, you see this is mis.qvw. This is costing dashboard.qvw. QVW is basically my front end, whereas QVD is my back end. Okay, so when you click it, one dashboard, you would see the interface like this. So there could be many visualizations: bar chart, line chart, pie chart, okay, filters, search boxes, calendar, sliders, anything. These are the basic objects we use for creating so many number of visualizations. This is the basic, but for a single bar chart, you can create 4 or 5 type of bar chart because there are a lot of property to customize or to see it differently. This is what the in-memory viewer. When you load the tables and when you join the tables, as I said, automatically they will join based on a common key field. Now when they will join common, by getting their common key field, you can also trace those tables graphically like this window, through this window. This window is called as the internal table view. On QlikView development screen, you can simply press Ctrl T and then table viewer will be shown here. So whichever the table is loaded to the in-memory of QlikView will be shown in this window. Make sense? This
Yeah.
is how some sort of dashboards. I'm just
Yes.
into the QlikView development environment. This is what my QlikView developer is. It's a purely a window-based platform. I have this QlikView 11. However, I have QlikView 12 also in the market. You can also, you know, it is recently launched. You can also download it. So this is the window-based platform. I mean, here we have the QlikView live projects. Sorry. So there's a training sessions which is being conducted. So just to address here. Okay, so this is my dashboard, coding structure. One is application configuration. I'll tell you all the detail about this file structure, but just to address your curiosity, how the QVD looks like in the data folder. These are the QVD files. You can see this just look like Excel. I'll open it. I'll see the data in the QVD, and just like Excel. Okay, I just have created from the data by querying from the database. The entire table data is over here. However, I do consume it as and when required, the few part of it. Now this is the application. Here I have not created, it is ongoing batch. So another application is there. Say this is application. Here we have enrollment dashboard. So you can see the screens are here. When you click that, you'll get the dashboard. So this is how the dashboard looks like. It's just a landing page. When the initially customer will log in, they'll be landed here. All have the permission to this screen. However, based on the roles and rights, you can also log into the different screen. You see here, I do have security in QlikView. Okay, I'll just close this and try to open. QlikView is highly secure. So when you just open it, user wise, role wise, the permission has been given. Okay, I will just give you permission that okay. So here we have the dashboard. This is how this looks like. This is a graphical interface. However, we have coding interface also. Edit script. It is also hidden. Qlik is highly secure. So due to security, I have hidden my code. Edit hidden script 1 2. The password I've given. Now you can see entire script is coming here. Again, full script is not written in this layer. I have maintained a layer architecture. So QlikView is taken the data from another layer that is called data model, which is in the transform layer. The entire data modeling is done there. Here it's only visualization layer. In order to make the visualization layer lightweight, we do not do any database coding here. For doing the database joining and all, we use another layer. That all will be covered in the live sessions. So just to see here, this is the table structures. Those are used in this dashboard. You can see how beautiful it is. They are automatically connected. You can see some common columns like order number is there in all the tables. Here these two tables are connected with the same key. So this is graphically more. This is a date island. It has the date and time of entire year, every day of entire year. So a lot of features. So for selections, you can see I'm just selecting some number of items. Based on that items stocks, the data is getting populated. Is it taking any time? No, just a fraction of a second. Clear selections. So I'll change the clear selection to filter the dashboard. Now we'll just change the VAT percentage. The last column is changing, the selling price is changing. So it is called as what if analysis of QlikView. I'll change the price range. It is become independent. And this is particular order. So based on that items will get filtered. So this is how the filtration happen in QlikView. It's much more time faster. This is a multi-dimensional multi-measure chart which has stock versus sales. It is a radar chart. This is a multi-measure chart. It is multi-measure which is called as a combo chart. It is called as Meko chart. It's a radar chart. It is a block chart. Representation is very beautiful here. You select it. You just select some fraction of this part and it would be enlarged. Okay, just to see the smallest item, you can just see particular this portion. It would be enlarged. Okay. This mechanism is called as slicing and dicing. This pie chart. So this is called as a scatter plot. Thousands of orders are showing here. I just take a small fraction of this particular part. When I'm selecting it, it is getting expanded. Okay, so this is what we call as it's a grid chart. It is a scatter plot. So there are many other items. You can also print a particular order, just like a printing of a particular bill. Just I'm printing it. I'm just seeing this order, just a kind of print. Choosing this one, print order, print preview. You see the order will be printed just like a report. Okay, so you can then apply your creativity and make it more beautiful. So in this way, just to give you a brief idea about QlikView, this is pretty much from the demonstration side. I hope